Let's talk a little bit more about the downswing. Let's talk about transition. That point in the backswing, in the backswing, where you change from going and finishing your backswing to just starting your downswing. One of the fundamentals that we're talking about, number 11, has to do with backswing. The right elbow leads the hands during transition. In other words, you can see that this elbow is still closer to the target than the hands are through transition. Later in the swing, the hands pass the elbow. But in that first part of the swing, to retain that lag, to retain that power, you'll see that that elbow retains its position ahead of the hands, or closer to the target from the hands, in that transition move. If you can do that, you'll hit the ball a long ways and very accurately. Now, if you can't do that, come out and get a lesson. Fundamental number 12, all great ball strikers have tremendous club head speed. Guys on a tour, they range and they go from 105, 110, 120 miles per hour club head speed with their drivers. Some a little bit more if they're in a long driving contest. None of the best ball strikers in the world fall into the 80 mile per hour, 90 mile per hour club head speed with their drivers. Now that's a fundamental, but it's a result of a lot of good things they do during the backswing and the downswing. One of the key fundamentals that you'll see all players have, that at impact, their head position is behind the ball, or in relation to the ball. Here's ball position. Their head position is still behind the ball. They are not forward of the ball when they're hitting at impact. They're not even with the ball. They're behind the ball, depending on the club, how far that might be. We demonstrate. Ball position here. Take the club back. Wind up. Lateral. And I'm shifted over quite a bit. But my head position is still behind where that ball was. Now the shaft handle is ahead of the ball, but that's fine. That's perfect. But my head still remains behind. It has not swayed forward. If you're doing that, you're going to end up with a lot of funny shots off that ground. One of the key fundamentals that in golf that I think is overlooked quite a bit. Jim has identified it as number 14. It has to do with the upper part of the lead arm stays connected to the chest, or the upper part of the chest at impact and beyond. Okay? What I like to do is feel a good strong connection in the shoulder girdle, not the arm against the chest, as it were a rib cage part of the chest, but essentially in the pectoral region, up here in the armpit. That's why a lot of golfers put a glove or a towel underneath there to remind them or give them a sensation while they're swinging that towel shouldn't fall out from under there through impact and beyond. Now at the very end, that can happen. They can let go and that glove or towel will fall out. But at impact, that's a real tight connection. That's a strength point in your swing. That's an area of dynamic tension, and that stays connected through impact and beyond, about 3/4 of the way through the downswing. I'll show you what that looks like again. I like to establish that connection early on in my address position, so I'll feel here and here a strong connection or tension in those muscles that hold the shoulder or the upper arm against the chest or the armpit, let's say. So I'll take the club back, connection is still maintained, I'll come through, connection is still maintained, come through the ball, connection is still maintained as I start rotating my upper torso, and at the end, you can see that I can it'll eventually move away from the upper part of the body. That is a key fundamental for top ball strikers. In relation to that, Jim says that the shoulders upper center of the arms and the club head rotate in unison past impact. I think I just demonstrated that. That here and here, you can see that my shoulders, my upper center, my hands, and the club head, you can see that that remains connected through the impact position. Very critical in hitting a solid, accurate shot. If you look closely, my left or my lead wrist is slightly bowed or flat at the impact position. I like to think of it as slightly bowed or with the wrist joint a little bit extended past the knuckles. If I'm doing that when I hit the ball, I'm going to hit a really good shot. So as you can see, if I'm here, you'll see a slight bow or in some cases a flat wrist. I like to feel like I've got more of a bow in my left wrist at impact and beyond. Let that rotate along with the upper portion of the body. You'll see a lot of demonstrations of this, and it's a good swing drill that you hold your upper arm against your chest and let that move that wrist through impact.